a lot of people don't know a lot about me because I'm, for the most part, I'm quiet until they put this microphone in front of my face.
I'm actually Chad.
So Chad, I'm actually not Chad.
Can you imagine?
That'd be so
That'd
funny.
be fucked up.
Yeah, like I was just the face,
Yeah.
and you were like actually, and you were actually the brain of,
Right?
And I was just the face.
Yeah.
I was just the guy that walked around in a suit, and you were like the one,
making
the
all
fucking puppeteer.
Yeah, shit.
I was the puppet, and you were the puppeteer.
You guys are tripping me out right now. No, I'm just kidding.
That might be what's going on. Did you take any mushrooms today? No, I'm just kidding.
Not today.
Are you in recovery?
No. Well,
That's okay. I'm not either.
well.
There's two of us. There's actually three of us not in recovery, only one in.
This is where we're going to start right here. All right. Well, welcome to the Hopeaholics podcast.
God.
My name is Chad, and I am your host.
God.
Today we have
Whoa.
Shane Ern
Holy smoke.
as the co-host, and we have the wonderful Jocelyn, who is also the clinical director for Pillars.
Whoa.
Is that what your title is?
Assistant clinical
Assistant.
director.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Good for you.
Thank you.
I never knew
What
that.
did you think?
I never thought anything really, but I didn't think you had such a high-powered position.
Yeah, it's actually been really great. I started as a therapist at Hope
Yeah.
and then kind of worked my way up. Then
Wow.
went to lead therapist, and then from there
Cool.
went over to Pillars.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. You just never, and it's like it's not like you were judging someone, but I just never even, I don't know, just didn't think. I just thought case manager, or not that that's bad. I guess I'm just digging the grave right now.
Yeah,
right?
you are.
Just digging.
She's like a USC graduate, right? Or
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
USC graduate.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome.
master's degree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Therapist.
Congratulations on everything.
Chad,
Yeah.
you're like my hype man right now. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I see your resume, so
You did.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to review it, so
All good.
thanks, Chad.
anyways, that funny weird intro that I was doing, I'm just practicing for when we actually do have a real intro.
Yeah.
Right, Michelangelo? Are we live?
On his white Anglo-Saxon Protestant channel. Not this one. That's for his WASP channel. That's,
I see.
What's that? I don't
white
even know
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Is
It's like
that-
really just white people
in general.
in general. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually not like white.
No, you're not, but you were acting
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Italians are not considered white.
They are not.
So, I do have Danish in me, though, and that they are very white people. They're very nice white
Very
people.
nice. Yeah, really nice.
Have you ever been to Denmark?
Blonde
have you been
countries.
to Denmark?
I have
No.
not.
No?
I have not.
No, neither have I.
Yeah,
No blonde
so-
countries.
So we don't do an intro. I just was trying to be funny and break the ice.
Thanks for doing that. No, yeah, that went smooth.
Yeah.
I have him that was judging me, but it's all good. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Judging me hard. No, I'm just
Yeah, I was. Sorry. My bad.
no, you're all good.
Have you listened to any of our podcasts?
I have.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I have. I've been trying to keep up with
Some of them.
Yeah.
They're long, so you don't have to keep up with all of them. But no. What my recommendation is go look at the ones that are catching fire,
Yeah.
because those ones are pretty fire.
Yeah.
You know, Brian Hardy's
Yeah, his was good.
really good.
Yeah.
Not that any of them are, better than others, but like ours, like our podcast isn't catching fire. I think we had 25 views this morning. It's like the worst.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like our podcast.
bro, we were cold. We're not used to being interviewed. And by the time it takes off, I need an hour to just start talking.
Yeah. So we went on somebody else's podcast on
Very
Sunday
uncomfortable.
night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like for us, this is comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So now we know what it felt like to be a guest.
Right.
And like the guy's asking Shane, so tell me,
Yeah.
what's it like working with Chad? And
I'm
Shane's like, how do we sure up
Yeah.
And then that was it.
That was it.
That was
I
like his whole sentence. And I was like, that's it? Like, we're trying to do an hour-long podcast here.
know.
You're giving like one sentence?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like I just couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to sweat. I felt my forehead beating up.
Oh, wow.
You know, then I got the beads of sweat on the lower back. It was one of those days. Yeah,
That's
not
funny.
friendly.
That's funny.
Yeah, just ask simple questions too, like how does it feel to be a part of the podcast? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Just went totally blank.
I'm not sure.
I don't even know what to
have
say.
I been doing the podcast? You know, and then I just came up with, it's just thanks for Chad for asking. I really appreciate it, bro. Just been an honor working with Chad. Thank you.
I'm just honored that he asked me to be on the podcast.
You know, for this revolution.
Well, I'm excited about the podcast. I think you guys are doing great work.
Me too.
You know,
I
what?
really
Yeah.
do.
It's each podcast is different. We have some really funny ones, but everyone carries the message of hope and opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key here. Everyone's got a chance.
Yeah. I like that. I like the diversity of it too.
Yeah.
All the different like topics and kind of where they go. Like Dr. K's was amazing.
Oh, man. Dude.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good.
Honestly, and so I take that back, what I said just a few minutes ago, because that's probably one of the most informative podcasts and most emotional,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
if you will. It's the first time she's ever said what she said in public
Yeah.
about her children.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, you know, she's done a lot of work to get from where she was to being able to come onto a podcast and say that. She actually didn't know that she was coming in studio, and she didn't know what I had set up.
Oh, wow.
So I texted her like 30 minutes before start time, and I was like, you can park in Penny Spot, and she's like, oh, I'm coming there.
Yeah.
So she texted me back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did great.
Yeah, her podcast. Shane was just like mesmerized. He was
Yeah.
just like, she was saying stuff, and he was just like staring at her. And I was like, and then I said something to Shane, and he usually, if I say something to him, he usually barks back, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like staring at her, and I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah, it was okay. It was. I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong woman.
Oh, yeah.
Very strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been working in the field since about 2017, working initially with the homeless population, individuals experiencing homelessness. And I was working down over in Skid Row and learned a lot there. Down there, they're more harm reduction focused, so they have, the needle exchanges, things like that. But I was working in housing, so basically getting my clients from living in tents into having their own unit, whether that was an apartment. Some of them even got small houses, so that was really exciting to see and be a part of. And kind of what led me to doing, so I'll start kind of my undergrad. I got my bachelor's in human services, so I started doing case management and did that for a couple of years, and then decided I wanted to go back to school, and that's when I got accepted into USC for the School of Social Work, and so I did that for 2 years. So I stopped doing case management, and during that time, my uncle passed away, and so I guess I could just share his story and just kind of.
Yeah, of course.
So it's kind of an emotional story, but he passed away. So he struggled with addiction all his life, and he grew up in poverty. My grandma migrated here when my mom and her brothers and sisters were children, and so my uncles, my aunts, they grew up in downtown LA. And so in East LA specifically, so there was a lot of gang violence in the 80s. One of my uncles died of a drive-by, but my other uncle, he struggled with addiction all his life. He was a heroin addict. And he recently, well, like back in 2018, he wanted to get sober. And so he had gone to a couple different county funded treatments because he was like in and out of prison, things like that. Unfortunately, he ended up getting deported because of, him getting in trouble with the law. So he went to Mexico, and he grew up in LA. So going to Mexico was quite a shift for him because he was used to growing up in LA. And so he decided he wanted to get sober and ended up seeking treatment in Mexico. And so he walked into the treatment center, like actually walking right on his 2 feet, and wanted to get treatment. And we ended up, my grandma was like, I have a bad feeling. I want to just go check if he's okay. Like, they haven't been providing me updates. And I'm like, yeah, go check if he's okay. My mom was like, yeah, go check. And so they ended up having to wheelchair him out. He ended up getting severely abused in the treatment center that he was at. He came out with broken ribs. His lung was like busted pretty much. He was all just beat up. And he ended up passing away. And I just remember rushing my family. I was working in LA at the time, and just rushing them, going down because he was in ICU. And at that point, he couldn't talk anymore. But my last words to him were like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let this story ever, like, go unheard. Like, this is a message for everyone, because he died sober. But under the conditions that he was under, it was awful. For all of us, it was devastating. And so I just remember, like, tears running down his face because he could hear me, but he couldn't talk anymore because he had tubes down his throat, and he was just all banged up. So only a few people that work here know about that story. But initially, my plan was not to work in treatment. I thought maybe it's going to be too triggering, like maybe I won't be able to handle it. But it ended up being like the best thing that ever happened to me, like coming to Hope and working at Hope by the Sea. Like, it just was a turning point for me, personally and professionally. So I always, appreciate like Chad and Cindy and everyone, and like they're like family to me, and they've really seen me grow. Like, when I first came here on my interview, I was like, just like so young. I was just like ready to get in it and like be a therapist, but had no idea what was like to come.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm so motivated, and I want to provide the best care to all of our patients, like quality care, genuine care, because I think about my uncle every single day and what he had to experience. And so I think, his story is just, it's motivational just to continue.
Yeah, I really like that, that you have that. And this happened, what year?
It happened in 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2017. And it even hit the news. Like, it was like, they finally closed that place down, but it took a couple years.
Was it a county funded place?
Honestly, we paid cash, but yeah, I think it's a little bit different. Obviously, like out there, it's a little different. But
where was he when he went to treatment?
It was in Rosarito.
Oh, it was in Rosarito.
Yeah, it was in Rosarito. Yeah, we wanted to get him out here, but due to like legalities, we couldn't. So he ended up going to treatment out there, and yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
Well, what I like about this, what you just said, because it's very similar to the whole mission for the Hopeaholics podcast, because this started because my daughter's fiance passed away from fentanyl.
Right.
And see, I still fucking every goddamn time.
That's love, bro.
I can't even like tell the story.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. What you said, I will not let his story go unheard. I just won't. And like, I'm obsessed, right? Like I've always been like that, just in general, just in life. Like, since I came up out of my addiction, everything I do, I give it my 110% best go, right?
Yeah.
And I don't stop until something's successful. I won't allow something to just. Now I've tried a couple businesses, but my heart, like, if my heart's not in it, then it's gonna fail, right? But everything that I've put my heart into succeeds.
Yeah.
And I've never even had my heart this much into something, because I was in my own pain
Yeah.
when we started Hope by the Sea.
Mhm.
Like I was there to help other people that felt the same way I feel and suffered the same way I suffer. And but this is a little bit different because this is like my daughter's pain.
Yeah.
This is his family's pain. This is my pain because I was basically his dad for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I was the guy that he looked up to.
Yeah.
Fucking almost start crying again, right? So, because you want to know why? Because like at his celebration of life, like my family, we don't do funerals, right? We do celebrations of life. Sounds better, I think.
Yeah.
But we had it here in the gym at Hope on a Saturday, and all of his, friends and family and coworkers came, and I mean there was literally like 100 people here. I hope there's 100 people that show up to my celebration of life, But his coworkers came up to me after, and they were like, "This is the shit that's really hard." They came up to me and they said to me that Justin used to tell us that all he ever wanted was for you to be proud of him, And I never told him I was proud of him,
Yeah.
but I was proud of him. I was proud of where he was when I met him because I hated him. He was a little punk. I will hate every guy that dates my daughter.
Yeah.
I will hate them until they prove to me that they're worthy of being with my daughter.
Yeah.
And he proved it over time.
Mm.
And I was proud of him,
Yeah.
So same thing,
Yeah.
same deal.
Yeah.
And here you are, 2007, it's 17, it's 2023, and
Yeah.
you're still going for it.
Yeah, it took me a while to be able to share his story without just breaking down, just completely breaking down. It took me a while to process the grief as well. Hope by the Sea actually helped me throughout that healing process because I was able to facilitate grief groups and work with the patients so closely when I was doing therapy, and it was healing for me too. Because I'd go home and reflect on it and be like, damn, that was deep, But yeah, I'm so motivated to just spread, like you said, spread awareness, spread the message, share his story, their story, and there's so many other people that have also lost loved ones to this matter, and it's just
yeah, this is the one major issue in the United States that could bring everybody together regardless of political views, right?
Right.
Because currently we're so divided, and trust me, the government likes it better that way, right? They want us divided.
Yeah.
So, and not to be political in any way, shape, or form, I think it's important for us all to come together as one unit, especially on an issue as serious as this, because there's 300 people that are dying every day from fentanyl.
Yeah.
And there's you can there's a lot more that are dying from addiction and mental health issues and going to rehab, possibly in Rosarito having abuse issues.
Right. And had he had the support, when he was younger, I feel like mental health back in the 80s, it wasn't really
non-existent.
Yeah, it was non-existent. And so looking at all of the curriculum we have here and the interventions that we have, had he had that support, maybe things would have turned out different,
Right.
And so, and it really is generational too. I mean, it was, lots of family members that struggle with addiction, a lot of abuse, domestic violence, the whole works that come with it and the trauma. So he was using to cope with that trauma. He had been through extensive trauma. We do the adverse childhood experiences questionnaire, in some of our documentation, and it really shows, when they're scoring even 4 and above on this questionnaire, they're more likely to end up with health issues, mental health challenges. So these are the things that not a lot of people would talk about back then. So,
Right.
Not enough education on it.
So that's the other part of this, right? The stigma.
The stigma.
There's still a bad stigma to be a drug addict. People still are like, but we're part of the movement of people recovering out loud. So like, I tell my story, and most of the people that come on our podcast, they have a story, right? And we're trying to bring that stigma down.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. It's okay to suffer from mental health issues.
Right.
It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's okay to go to treatment. It's okay to be a drug addict.
Yeah.
But when you are, let's try to find some help for you, because nobody likes living there. Right. And then we like to offer hope, right? We like to offer hope. The Hopeaholics, Hope by the Sea, Hope Lodge. We have like a lot of hope around here, right?
A lot of hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for real, because it's like I think hope's the most important thing that people can grasp onto that are in pain. And this podcast isn't just for people that suffer from addiction or mental health. It can be for people that suffer from grief and loss, because a lot of us have grief and loss issues.
Yes.
Yes. And this is a platform that that I'm building. When I say I mean me and Shane and Michelangelo and every single guest that comes on this podcast. That's how we grow. Yeah. We grow from the guests that come on our podcast, and they share and they support us, and and people find us, and it just keeps growing. It actually surprises me that like I'm not so surprised about Instagram, right? Instagram's like not that difficult. You just go on there and you work it, and but YouTube is not easy. And we're not like growing fast on YouTube, but it's growing. We've been at this for like 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
About 6 weeks.
6.5, yeah.
6.5 weeks. And we went from 0 to 450 or whatever it's at right now. And that just keeps doing that. Yeah. It's not like it's stopping, it just keeps growing. And it's not like you can, market YouTube except for on your other social media platforms. Right. So that's what makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like, you could probably type in something on the, on the search bar if you're looking for, I don't know, whatever we title our stuff with, right?
Yeah, I search on YouTube.
What do you search for?
I punch in motivation.
Yeah, I just clicked the little link, but I'm like stuck on Motiversity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you do to keep yourself motivated and disciplined?
Motivated and disciplined? I just try to stay as consistent as possible. Like just with my mission and just who I am, not only as like a human being, but like as a human service worker, just like stay consistent, move with grace, stay humble. Like I always tell my team, like, remember to stay humble. Like just remember that, because we're no better than anyone else.
No. Yeah.
Doesn't matter the credentials, doesn't matter
right.
all of that. Like
I like what you said, human service worker. Isn't that everybody really?
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, and I'm not saying that to belittle anything. I'm saying that because everyone should understand that people could be going through rough days and rough times. Typically we are. And just to be nice to everybody as best as you can.
You should definitely be nice to every single person you come in contact, because you have no idea what's going on in that person's life. None.
Human service,
Human services. Yeah, we're all human services workers.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
And honestly, like another thing I do to stay motivated is doing some of that nonprofit work also. And that's part of the reason why like we are wanting to do another event, donations event, because it just getting out there and like seeing what people are doing out in the streets and what's really going on out there. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's raw, it's real, and being able to give back, it's like it feels so good after. Like you just want it, you get motivated and you want to just go back to work and just like give it your all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your about your work when you were working like in the Skid Row area. You said just a little bit ago that you could get some of them out of the tents and into homes, apartments, or
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah.
How often do you see that happening? And how did that come about? Because sometimes it's hard to get them out of there.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are very comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't want out,
Mm-hmm.
but many of them do.
Many of them do. Yeah.
So how did that go about when you were working out there doing that part?
So with that, there's a lot of debate, you know, with the housing first model, the harm reduction, the needle exchanges. But what I would do in my work is looking at the client and the patient and seeing what do they need, right? And so there were a lot of them that were actively using, some of them that were trying to get sober. And so each of them had like a different treatment plan. Some were veterans, some weren't. And so I had to look at like the whole picture, right? Do they have family support? Do they not? Do they have some sort of a chronic illness? And so looking at all those factors, like I had to figure out, okay, what would be the best plan for them? Should we house them or should we have them go to treatment or whatever the case was? But yeah, it was exciting because at the time I was working with 2 other housing navigators. We were in an office. And we were just housing people like almost every other week. Like it was really exciting. And yeah, like it was great. It was great. But it was difficult because some of them would either not be able to maintain the housing or they would get sick. There were, different situations, but the ones that were able to pull through and like actually maintain, it was really exciting to see. So I would house them and then I would check in on them and actually go into their place and make sure like everything was okay and that they were safe. And so it was really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. And see, that's the kind of stuff too that like, I'll be going after once our following is big enough is like there needs to be more funding for that.
Absolutely.
Stop spending the people's money frivolously.
Right.
Like that is another piece of this whole, Hopeaholics puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people can get behind this, especially when it's not like a politically motivated thing, but with politically motivated stuff, you can only get one side on your side,
Yeah.
This issue is an American issue. This is a responsibility of Americans, to work to figure out solutions and not allow our goddamn government to be the ones that figure out this solution because they suck at spending our money.
Yeah.
They don't do it correctly. They're not using our money to help the homeless. They're putting out. Somebody told me that Los Angeles budget is like it was ridiculous number.
Yeah.
Ridiculous number. You could house every single one of those people and put them through treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody else told me that if you solve the homeless crisis, that budget won't be available to those people anymore.
I remember when I was in USC, I wrote a paper about that actually, because I was working down there. So I got to see like firsthand what was really going on. And a lot of the places where they would have housing opportunities for them, they were like areas that were terrible.
Right.
And so you have this client that's trying to get housed, trying to get sober, working their program. And then they walk downstairs or go outside and it's like infested with drugs, violence, all of that, danger, you know? And so how are they going to be able to maintain a healthy lifestyle when they're surrounded by all that chaos? So it was highly difficult because they would come to us like, hey, like I don't even feel safe walking outside.
Right. And it's safer. It's actually safer for those people to be in Skid Row because they actually protect each other from the violence that happens on the outside.
Oh, they do. I remember they even would look out for me. They started recognizing me because I was down there so much, and they would help me like watch my car and like just make sure I was good. Like no one would mess with me. And it's like they're all just like such like good people. Honestly, yeah. Like they're like they're human beings, and they like care. You know, they care for each other. Like
you know, so these people will give you the last dollar in their pocket.
Yeah.
What? I know I'm bagging on politicians, but what politician would do that for you? Give you their very last dollar. If they had $1, they would. A homeless person would give you 50 cents if they had $1.
Yeah,
for sure. All of them.
Most, yeah.
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 I mean, and we've been doing the same stuff, like, you know, going out and interviewing. We need to get back out there. So when I get back from my vacation, you know, it's time to hit it hard.
Oh yeah.
You know,
we're super excited.
Yeah.
We're super excited.
When's the event? Tell us more about the event and everything, because the Hopeaholics are involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready to hear about it, Shane?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So the event's on June 24th, and so we're planning on it's harm reduction focused. So we're accepting donations such as like Narcan, clothing, packaged snacks, waters. We even want to collect like NAA books, because when we're down there, you know, like I'm big on fellowshipping, like speaking to people and like really reaching out. And then also just spreading the message on like where I work now, like Hope by the Sea, the Infinity Group, and like just helping out, because someone down there may have another loved one that wants to seek treatment or something, you know, like you never know. So, yeah, the donations event, we've done one back in 2020 during the pandemic. That one was more focused on like COVID and like masks and hygiene kits, things like that. And not a lot of people at the time wanted to actually go in person. We had a lot of donations, but people were scared, you know, that like with the whole pandemic. And so, but we did actually have a lot of volunteers, and we were so grateful for that. It ended up being a huge success. We served like over 200 plus people. Yeah. And like, it was cool because once they see you setting up, they start like the word gets out quick. So we had like a line wrapped around the street, and I'm just so excited to be able to collaborate with Hopeaholics, because I feel like this event's going to be even bigger, and it's just going to keep growing and growing. So it's really exciting. And then we're doing like a team building too. So some of the staff wants to get involved. So we're going to have a lot of hands on deck for sure.
Yeah. So you need to like mark this clip right here, because I want to make some reels out of this part, and you know, really promote this part. Is there like a website or a phone number? All that I mean, you can give it to them after too.
Yeah.
But you can give it to us on air. We're not like actually on air though. No, we just put our on air sign on the board today.
Oh,
looks so much cooler, right?
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the logo?
I do.
Oh, okay, good.
I do.
Something funny about that logo, I'll tell you.
What is it? What's funny? What makes you laugh about that logo?
I was going to tell you the story, but if I want to get rid of you.
If you want to get rid of me?
Yeah.
You just shave your beard?
Just shave half my face.
That's funny.
It's time for him to go. It's time for him to go. You know?
He's really happy that he's saying that right now, because that's usually what I say. I talk about the logo, and then I'm like, what do you guys think about it? And then they're like, oh yeah, cool. I told I was in a business meeting yesterday, and I had this logo up on the screen in my, because I try to promote this as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
I had this business meeting, and I was like, what do you guys think of the logo? And then one of the guys was like, oh, I just realized that's Shane and you. And I was like, yeah, it is. But I said, but if I ever get pissed off at him, that's just going to be me with a beard or me without a beard.
Who's in the meeting?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. They knew you, though.
Oh, they did,
yeah, and you didn't even know that they knew you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
They knew Shane the bad boy.
Shane the bad boy. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. He's mellowed out a lot.
Those days are over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, time really goes by, you know.
It does.
You know, I can't believe it's 2023.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I know.
My son is going to be 18 in 2024.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
That will mean that I have 2 more years, and then all my children are adults.
Yeah.
Wow.
Empty nesters.
So
You could sell and move into a fucking condo.
gonna buy a condo in Dana, sell the house, buy a condo in Dana Point, and a ranch in Tennessee,
Why not Montana?
Montana,
Close to
ranch in
Canadian border.
No, I don't like them Canadians.
Make a run. Make a run.
You like Canadians? You don't want to answer that
I've
question.
never been over there, so I'm not really sure.
Do you like Shane?
Where are you born?
I was born in Bellflower.
Bellflower?
Yeah, here
Is
in
that in
California.
California?
Yeah,
And your mom and dad immigrated from
from Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah,
Not your mom and dad.
both of them.
Oh, your mom and dad did?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm
I thought you
first
said
gen.
your grandma.
Yeah, my mom and dad were born out there, and then they all came.
And then your
Yeah.
grandma, everybody, the whole,
Yeah,
both sides grandparents or just one side?
both sides.
Both sides?
Yeah,
So you're the first generation born in America?
I
Yeah.
am.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
She's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
First.
the
Yeah.
first generation.
First generation.
Not born in America.
Born in Canada.
That's why I'm asking if you like Shane, because he's like a typical Canadian. and
Typical
kinda
immigrant.
Totally,
Canada.
totally
Really?
annoys me.
I'll never leave.
It's true. That's one thing about Canadians. They come,
We
they
stick.
sit on your couch.
That's it. We don't go.
They wear their
anywhere.
black socks.
Yeah.
They take off their shoes when they at the front door
Yes.
when they come in, and then they never leave.
Never.
There's got to be something special about them. Right?
Look at him. Do you see anything?
Oh my God. Can you believe we're talking about this? Human resources.
There's no human resources for the
There are none.
Hopeaholics.
There's none for us anyways, bro. Come on. Oh, shit.
Shane is a. Am I allowed to say this on air?
You can say whatever the fuck you
Because
want.
you're still a Canadian citizen,
I'm still Canadian.
huh?
I'm still Canadian and I'm American.
Mm-mm.
I have both passports. I had to give up the
I mean,
Canadian.
if the government hears you say this right
They'll
here,
fucking
they're gonna deport
Oust
your
me,
ass. Yeah.
probably.
You're not gonna be allowed in Canada, and you're not gonna be allowed in America. So where are you
imagine?
gonna go?
Airport.
He had to denounce his Canadianship. See, they know
Canadianship. That was good. That was good. You don't even know you did it.
that.
Canadianship.
That's what it is.
No, it's Canadian citizenship. Not Canadianship. You just made a new word up.
That's what I've always called it.
Oh, have you?
My dad's Canadian.
Canadianship.
Yeah. I'm first generation born in America.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not true. My mom
Oh.
was born in America,
Oh, okay.
but my dad's Canadian. He was born in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ernst is his name.
Ernst. My last name is Ern.
Ernst.
It's Ernst. That's how close we are in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. Ernie was my neighbor. Ernst.
So we were asking the last girl on the podcast if we should just stick with the meat and potatoes, or is it okay to banter back and forth?
I think it adds like
Some flavor.
some flavor. Yeah.
I like the flavor too.
I like the flavor too. How are your student loans?
Oh God.
You went there.
You really went.
You just unbelievable.
That was like.
No, like we were just. How did you go straight
Well,
to
just
student
because
loans?
I'm just thinking USC. That's expensive.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking school,
Yeah.
you know? And it builds up the money.
It's like $100,000
Jesus.
For the
for that one.
for,
alone, just
just
my
for the
master's.
for the master's
for the
program,
master's.
which is 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Where'd you go for your undergrad?
I went to University of Phoenix, so that's
Okay.
like a private college. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Good for you. Are your mom and dad both alive right now?
They are.
They must, how are they doing?
They're doing good. They're doing good. Yeah, my mom, she's like super proud.
Yeah, of course.
Especially because I'm like spreading the message about her brother's story and everything like that. And my grandmother's super proud. She's still alive. I'm super blessed to have my grandma in my life
Right.
still. Yeah. She kind of like helped raise me. She's
Yeah.
like my second mom. So,
I had the same grandma. It's usually like that with immigrant families.
yeah.
You know, we all live in the same home. Like, I lived
Yeah.
with my mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa. We all lived together.
Mhm.
We all basically slept in the same room, and we rented out the other 3 rooms. That's the truth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we were that's just what we did
It's how
to
it is.
survive.
That's the norm.
That's the norm.
I
Yeah.
never heard that story before that he's telling.
Yeah.
Seems very suspicious.
Quit eating. I thought you dropped a fork. Sorry.
So do your
just get
parents?
accustomed to certain things.
Your parents? How long? So you were born here. Okay, so your parents have been here a while.
Yeah, they've been here a while. My dad, he always worked in like the installation field, like office installation. He had his own business at one point. And then my mom, she always did like administrative work. She also has her master's in ethical leadership, so she's like really big on ethics. Yeah, so she always pushed me.
Oh boy,
and my
don't
sister.
show her this podcast then. I'm just kidding.
She's actually been watching her. She really likes it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't think we're nerds.
No, she thinks what you're doing is great.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
she
Yeah.
thinks what you're doing is really great. But yeah, forgot what I was saying. But yeah, she's super proud and just really wants me to continue like doing what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing. My sister, I have a sister. She's a registered nurse, so she works for Kaiser. So my mom always pushed us to like go to school, get your degree.
Just the two sisters?
And then I have another little sister as
How's
well.
she,
She's like 6.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a big gap there, but and then I have a 10-year-old daughter.
And so your let's see, the
So my
sister is
sister-
your daughter is older than her aunt.
Yeah, she's her little aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was interesting. But yeah, they're like besties. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to say Jesus like that. It's
Say
offensive to
whatever the fuck I want.
it's offensive to Christians.
No, it's not.
Oh, you said Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Lord have
Jesus.
mercy.
Sorry, we banter about stupid stuff because
All
he's
good.
he's Canadian. He's
Yeah.
also Jewish. I'm Christian, Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, we're about the same.
Raised,
Raised.
but
He quit.
I quit the
Quit
Seventh-day
being a Seventh-day
Adventist.
Adventist.
Yeah,
You can't quit being a Jew.
yeah, you can't.
Not allowed to.
No,
Mind you, it does happen.
although that you can't be buried where the Jews are buried.
No, you can't.
You can. I said
I can.
you can.
Sure. Oh, I just
You got to
don't tell
cut your
anybody.
arm off.
You got to just take the tattoos off. They're not going to know.
How do you
Keep
know?
it a secret. They'll just brush paint it.
So, well, when you brought up that you're Christian, that actually reminded me of like Hope by the Sea in the Christian group and working with Pete. That
Yeah.
was like such an awesome experience. I just kind of got thrown into Christian group and I was like, all right, I guess God wants me. And so it was great though. It was like so life changing. And that's like the cool thing about Hope by the Sea is that it really like focuses on all parts, like the spirituality and everything.
Dale. That was Dale.
I do. Yeah.
Everybody just heard Dale walk by.
Yeah, so, and then they have like the traditional track, right? And so that was really cool that you guys really allow the patients to kind of figure out where they want to be
Yeah.
in treatment.
I really like that too. You know, even we have the traditional track, right? But the traditional track, and I know it was like a little bit of a weird thing when we kind of smashed the alternative track and the
Right.
traditional track together. But I think that anytime you get to utilize Frank's stuff,
Yep.
whatever it is he does, we had him on the podcast. We still don't know
You
what
have
he
no
does.
clue.
None.
I co-facilitated with Frank before.
Okay, so you know what he does.
I know what he does. Yeah, that was a really awesome learning experience. What I did with him was the mirror exercise.
Yeah.
So that's where the patients sit and kind of look at themselves in the mirror and reflect on what they see. And so Frank would just kind of just like ask, various questions and then also kind of like educate them and explain to them, like why they're feeling what they're feeling and what they're going through. It's also like a safe place to process trauma. And it really helps like the milieu too. And like it builds this camaraderie between all the patients. They get so much closer from these groups. And so when I went over to Pillars, I was like, hey, I'm going to bring that over here because like this is like so impactful.
Yeah.
And so we just actually started 2 weeks ago psychodrama.
I heard about it.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really exciting. The patients are so excited about it. They
Nice.
love it.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us more about that. You, I heard that you got a promotion. She used to work at Hope. Now she's the assistant clinical director at Pillars.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's been really great. I've been learning a lot just on like the administrative stuff. I've been learning more about like chart audits and all that fun stuff. So I really appreciate, the company just kind of like allowing me to just like with my creativity. I like to like, how I am,
Yeah.
Chad. Like I just like to like start new ideas or like change things around. And so they've always been super like flexible with me and just allowed me to really kind of spread my wings with that. So that like I really do appreciate that from like you, Chad, and like all of upper management.
That starts at the top. That starts right there at the top. That's important to have that character.
Well, it's a leadership skill that I learned. A lot of people don't know a lot about me because I'm, for the most part, I'm quiet until they put this microphone in front of my face.
I'm actually Chad.
So Chad, I'm actually not Chad.
Can you imagine?
That'd be so
That'd
funny.
be fucked up.
Yeah, like I was just the face,
Yeah.
and you were like actually, and you were actually the brain of,
Right?
And I was just
You're
the
the-
face.
yeah.
I was just the guy that walked around in a suit, and
Yeah.
you were like the one,
Yeah,
the
making all
fucking puppeteer.
Yeah.
You're-
Shit.
I was the puppet, and you were the puppeteer.
Do, 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 do,
You
do,
guys are
do.
tripping me out right now. No, I'm just kidding.
That might be what's going on. Did you take any mushrooms today? No, I'm just kidding.
Not today.
Are you in recovery?
No. Well,
That's okay. I'm not either. There's two of us. There's actually three of us not in recovery. Only one in the room.
She might be. She just
Oh,
might
that's
not
right.
be.
You're
Just
right. You're right. She might
let
not
her
want to say
answer the
anything. Oh,
damn
you're right.
question.
Damn it. I'm
Jesus
so.
Christ.
You know what? I retract the question. I retract.
You don't have to answer that.
Don't
if you
answer.
Don't want to.
yeah. Well, I'll speak a little bit on like my mental health. I have struggled with like depression in the past. It started when I was like really young, actually like 7 years old.
Yeah.
And so it got progressively worse as I started experiencing life and life's challenges and things like that. And I got pregnant at 18, so I was like a teen mom. That was like a huge shift for me. But my daughter really is like the reason I'm still here. So of course I had my phase where like I was partying, things like that. But I feel like almost everyone has their phase in high school,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So just went through a lot with relationships, things like that. Just a lot of different hardships as a single mother. And now, I'm here. And it's just like now, we did the women's conference like not too long ago. And Cassandra and we were able to kind of speak to some of the women and encourage them. And like, when you're in treatment, you come in with feeling like low self-esteem, right? And they're not really feeling that great. But then to be able to see them just like completely transform and walk out of here with their heads held high, it's just like, wow, like you did that, And they'll come to us and like they'll thank us, but it's really them. Like they're the ones that are putting in that work. And so I always like to share in my groups like some of my own struggles with like when I was deep in my depression and how I got out of that and how I managed and some of the things I did. And once they hear you even just self-disclose a little bit, they're like so like appreciative of that because it brings more of a reality. It's more real to them. They're able to relate. You can relate.
It's super important, and you don't have to always self-disclose everything, right? But a lot of times people like this podcast, like I self-disclose a lot of stuff on this podcast. Some of it's funny, some of it's some of it's painful. But the reality is that people get to have a relatable experience, right? They're like, oh my God, he's been through that. Because if you don't know, you don't know. All you can do is assume what that person that you're looking at life is like, right? Yeah. People have no idea the struggle that I went through to get to where I am today.
Right.
It was a lot of pain and misery and suffering and but discipline. It was a lot of work. It was never giving up no matter what, no matter how. It was showing up no matter what.
Yeah.
Showing up for life even when I don't want to, even when I wanted to just lay in bed and cover my head. And I'll be honest, there's days when I have done that.
Yeah.
I've suffered from depression and and anxiety, and I have social anxiety, and I say it a lot. Why are you staring at me?
I'm
like that?
feeling the same way, bro. Social anxiety is fucking really high. So I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. You know that. Where should I be looking? Hang on a second. Let me pull my fucking phone out.
No, it was just weird. I always talk to the guest, and I was just get off your goddamn phone. Yeah.
All right.
I just like doing that. But like, no, I really do. Like, I really do. And it took a lot of work. And I also want to say though, that like, I want to go all the way back to what, the question that, or the statement that Shane had said about the leadership, that it starts from the top. I wasn't always an effective leader. I've been a good leader. But a lot of times I did all the work, right? I led, and when I say that, I mean that if I would create the solution to the problem, because I'm very solution oriented.
Yeah.
But that's draining. And I wasn't a level 5 leader. I had level 5 leader tendencies, and I'm saying this stuff from a book called From Good to Great. So if anybody wants to learn how to be an effective leader, I recommend reading that book. And I'll be honest, Catherine and Peter and Aaron are the ones that turned me on to that book.
Oh, wow.
I was already an effective leader, an effective level 5 leader before I read the book. But that book gave me all of the names that I needed for the stuff that I do, to be that effective leader.
Yeah.
And one of those things is, what you notice is that I train my leaders to become leaders, to train their leaders to become leaders. And every leader has autonomy.
Yeah.
Like, I no longer try to control the situation. If I don't allow this leader to make a mistake, and I micromanage them, they're never going to learn how to to not make that mistake, or they're never going to learn how to become solution oriented.
Right.
And the same goes for me if somebody comes to me with problems. Right. If you, as a leader, you're in a leadership role currently.
Yeah.
If your employees come to you with a problem, an effective leader will ask those team members to also bring 3 solutions to that problem.
Yeah.
Because they probably already know the solution. It's not my job to give them the solution to the problem. Now, if there's a chaotic event going on, then,
Sure.
crisis situation, which it does happen in treatment centers.
Yeah.
There are crises. It's okay to, jump in and, take control and,
Totally.
be effective and help everybody get through that. But it's like also leaders of that stature, when chaos and crisis happens, everything around them slows down.
Oh, yeah.
You like, I'll start to see it, and it's just like, oh my God, this is easy. It's over here. Or we calm this over here. We calm this down. We do this, and then bam, right? It's okay to do that in a crisis situation, but otherwise, you got to train people to lead.
Right.
Because what happens if I die? A level 4 leaders from the book, level 4 leaders are great leaders, and they can take a company from good to great. But if you remove that individual from the company fails. And a level 5 leader will take a company from good to great.
Yeah.
But they'll take that company that when that leader is removed, that company will still be great. And that's the difference between the two. Does that make sense to you, Big
100%.
Shane?
Yeah.
100%.
So I recommend that book to everybody that's in a leadership position. I'm actually listening to it because I do audiobooks.
I do the same thing.
I still say I read though.
Me too.
I've read like 10 books like this year already. I mean, which is a lot for me because prior to that, I've read like 2 my whole life. Who was the camera on right there?
Not me.
Huh? Okay. We got camera there, camera there. That's your camera right there.
Nice.
Did you ever like talk to the camera? Hi, how you doing? Camera. There's my camera right there. Yes, I want to thank everybody for coming to the show today, and I hope that everybody. I can't do it.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I'm really like introverted by nature.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you consider yourself a introvert or an extrovert?
I'm a little bit of both. Like it depends, I guess, on the situation. When I'm in a new environment, usually I'm like an introvert. But then once I get comfortable, it's like
you run the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like when I went to Pillars, like it took me a while to like, you know, get to know everyone. But now it's like we're all comfortable.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really like what you were saying about leadership. That's something that I've been learning since it's almost been a year. In June, it'll be a year that I like transferred over there.
Dang.
Yeah. It went by so fast.
I remember just like joking around about when you were leaving. I was like, remember I was saying that you can't go, and stuff like that. I didn't approve this. Who went above me?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it went by really fast, but it's been great, like getting to know the staff over there. And the fact that you guys promote within is like so great because I know what it's like to also be a therapist. So when I think about my team and like what they need, I think about like, well, what did I need when I was a therapist? How can I lighten their load or how can I help them in any way? And I really like to get out there. Like I'll be at the houses, I'll be running groups still, even though I'm in my role in leadership, like I still need that client contact, you know, and like, it just helps me, again, stay motivated.
I think that's also an effective leadership skill because you need to still know what goes on.
Absolutely.
In the war zone, I guess, for lack of better words. You never help me with words. You just stare at me. Are you even listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Is he stoned?
Not yet, but very soon. Now, what time is it? Not 5 yet. 5:30 I will be.
But I think that's important, you know.
Yeah.
To have that.
She's always been a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, a single parent. Pick yourself up. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents were pretty, let's not call it upset, but not happy with the situation at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of grief, a lot of pain,
Mm-hmm.
and look what you did. Look what you've accomplished here in your life. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I struggle with that, I guess. That's like my own, you know, like self-esteem. Like I'm never one to like boast and like brag, you know? So like it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh my gosh, like your parents should be so proud. I'm just like, I go into like my shell, but like, you know, they are really proud.
For sure.
And
your sister too, nurse.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are two extremely high level jobs.
Yeah. And we're empaths, you know? So like my sister's the same way. Like she cares, like genuinely cares for the patients and like just really wants them to get well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about this whole time, how amazed her parents are of her and her daughter, or her and her sister.
I like that you're still uncomfortable with that though, because you know, there's a need of a sense to always feel, not feel. Let me do this again. We're gonna do this again like I did on the other podcast.
Yeah,
let's do it. Stare at me.
Let's do it.
It's hard for me to say feel instead of feel, because instead, you know, like when you know that thing you sleep on at night? What do you call it?
Peel?
No. What do you call that thing, you know, that you put your head on?
A pillow.
A what?
A pillow.
Pillow?
Am I saying it wrong?
Not to me, you didn't.
Well, everybody makes fun of me because I say pillow.
Hello.
Yeah, I say it with an E. I don't know why.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, pillow.
Hello, pillow.
I'm about to dive onto you right now. Hello.
This is great.
We like to have fun.
Yeah.
Where were you going with that?
See, I hate that. I
Where
do
were you
that.
going?
And that's
Pill?
the part.
So we're at the pill.
What was it? What were we talking about?
We're not sure.
See, then you do that, and that screws me up even more. And then I'll go back and I'll watch the podcast, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's where I was going with
You
it."
could have just said this word.
Yeah.
Got me back on track.
What was I saying, Michelangelo? Do you listen?
Don't tell him.
Or no? He obviously. Crickets. Crickets.
Cricket.
Honestly, I have no idea.
That's really horrible of you.
I have,
Do you
have any
like
idea?
Joss? Don't put her on the spot.
Well,
dude.
why not?
She's our guest.
Why not?
She is our guest.
Okay, that's fine.
And if she doesn't know it, she also has to remember that I am the CEO of the company that she
Not
works
in here. Not in here.
Down here.
For. That's
This
true.
is Chad Dict. 40s.
Why do you have to say dicked like that? It's Chad Icked, not dicked.
Chad Dict.
Chad Icked.
Oh, is it Chad Ick?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Chad Dick.
No.
When I'm mad at you, it's Chad Dick. When I'm not mad at you,
So
it's
apparently
Chad
you're
Ick.
mad at me right now, right?
Oh, God, that's
great.
good. Good stuff.
I was saying the word Phil, F-I-L-L.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember.
That's
all I
remember.
remember.
Phil, and you went to Pill.
I think you were asking me about like something about feeling uncomfortable with.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
something like
Thank
that,
you
right?
very
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm
it's-
listening.
Yes. I think it's important that because you said that kind of like when people compliment you or whatever, it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's good because that means that you're not done. You're not done moving forwards towards whatever your goal is.
Achieving greatness.
Achieving greatness.
Yeah.
I think that we should all strive for greatness, right? And it's kind of hard, and I don't know what it's like being a therapist, but I had a therapist one time tell me, Chad, you just need to learn to be comfortable. And I was like, no, you're wrong. I told the lady, I said, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I said, I believe that for me to grow and be successful in my life, I need to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, she didn't agree with me at all on that.
Yeah.
I remember her exact words. She said, you are never satisfied. And I said, you're right. I'm not ever satisfied. If I'm satisfied, I will stop striving for greatness.
Starve to death.
Yeah. And I'll
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
I'll die if I will go backward. If I go backwards or I stop growing, then I won't continue on. I just won't. It's not in my nature, right? I was born to be more than just your average everyday 9-to-5 worker. I've never been that.
Neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like being a single mom too, and having a career, and when you were going to school, because obviously she was alive before you even started college.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had to do that and support her, and but that is that's amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely like grind mode for the last 8 years. I feel like it was just because after I graduated USC, then I started working here, but then I still had to get my 3,000 hours. And so then I just finished that. And so it's just been grind mode since I had her. And everyone told me after my bachelor's, they were like, why don't you just chill? You accomplished that. They wanted me to settle with that. And I was like, I can't, I need to keep going. I need to keep going. And so I went back to school, and when I applied at USC and wrote the whole the paper and everything like that, I didn't tell anyone because their comments were just I didn't want to hear that. I want somebody to motivate me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I didn't tell anyone. And then when I got accepted was when I told everyone. They're like, all right, she's not going to stop,
Yeah.
And so I just kept going.
I'll tell you what it is. And it was with me too, with my family, is they're scared.
That's what it is. It's fear.
It's fear.
It's fear.
It's fear. That's all it is. Your parents were scared. You were so successful in their eyes. They're like, whoa, just you're good now. Don't fall again.
Right.
I don't want you to fall and hurt
Don't make
yourself.
it like harder on yourself.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
Interesting.
That's how it was. They're scared, and you prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Now they're going to let you go. Now they're all of a sudden they're going to start saying, "Wow, she's okay."
Yeah.
Well, like, in society's eyes, people might think that, quantity time with your children is more valuable than quality time, but that's not a fact.
Mm-hmm.
The more time, you've got to be there for your children, right? Now, my kids come before my business. They really do. Like when my son has a sporting event, or my daughter has a play, or my other daughter's in Christ, whatever it is, I will leave wherever I am at and I will be there.
Yep.
That is what I do. But what I'm saying is, if you would have stopped at your bachelor's and you would have never felt you would have felt something like something's missing.
Yeah.
Probably FOMO, right? Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It's a new word for me. I just learned it like 2 months ago, right before Aaron's wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my wife, we were on the way to airport and she was sick as hell and she was like, I don't know if I can make it. And I was like, babe, it's okay if you don't go. Like, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit in the hotel room and work and, go to the wedding and hang out with Peter a little bit. And she's like, but I'll have FOMO. And I was like, what the fuck is FOMO? I'd never heard that word before.
Yeah.
But what your daughter is going to see, you have a daughter, right?
I have a daughter.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I got it right. And is somebody you're gonna instill in her the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna motivation, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna see that thing. My mom did this.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be proud of you. And that's more important to me than anything. My kids being proud of me.
Yeah.
But when my kids brag about me, that makes me happy. My mom brags about me. It's like, it's not as meaningful because I'm her son. She loves me, right? She birthed me, and I know what it's like being a parent. You love your children, and will do anything for them. But she's gonna see this, and that's more important than if he would have stopped and just settled.
Yeah.
And been there and been that regular, I don't know, 9 to 5 mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my mom for a long time, she was also a single mother. Her and my dad divorced when I was like 3. And so she was like grinding. And she was taking care of me and my sister at the time. It was just us two. And like seeing her and everything that she was able to accomplish, it's like, I'm proud of her. And I totally get what you're saying. It's like, sometimes like the kids are so focused on making the parents proud, but in reality it's like reverse. Like we want to make them proud,
right?
And so my family's been through a lot of hardships, and my mom will always like be like, gosh, I'm sorry for like all the things I put you through. And I'm like, dude, none of that matters. Like you did it. Like you are the reason why I was able to even get through the last 10 years, because my daughter's 10 now.
Right. She's babysitting all the time, helping you probably. No.
Yeah, no, she helped me a lot through school. Like my whole family, my sister.
Of course.
Yeah.
God, yes. That's
it was
so
like
beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I did. That
doesn't happen with
I was
offense.
a single dad.
Americans.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying it doesn't happen with a lot of Americans.
A single dad. I've had my 22-year-old daughter since she was 36 days old. Full time, full custody.
Yes. What I was saying was that a lot of families, you have a great family. They were backing you. They were with you.
How do you know I have a great family?
Because I know them. I know them, but you need help.
Yeah.
So that's
you do need help.
You need help.
Yeah, it is harder.
It's hard.
It is sad for people that don't have family and don't have help.
It's tough.
Yeah, I had to put like my pride aside because it was hard. Like I hate asking for help. Like I'm one of those, like I just like, I don't like asking for help. But then I had to really like, I needed it, like it was like, it was hard. Yeah. It was hard. And her dad isn't really like, he wasn't really there in the beginning because he struggled with addiction, but then now he's in recovery. And so we're just trying to like set that example for her, you know, and like just no one's perfect, you know?
No.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, it's not easy. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Except for politicians, they're perfect. They're the only ones whose shit doesn't stink. Did you know that?
Oh, she is non-argumentative.
I'm just like,
No, what's cool when I say politicians, I'm talking about all of them, so it doesn't really matter, right?
No, it doesn't
They
matter.
all think their shit doesn't stink.
That's true. It's true.
What are you gonna do for us?
Right now?
I'm not talking to
I
you.
know. I'm just,
I want to know what they're gonna do for us.
hmm,
I wonder what they're gonna do when I have like 30 million people
right?
following the Hopeaholics
When it
podcast.
goes global.
yeah.
Global. That'd be cool. That'd be even cooler. We could have like 100 million,
Heck yeah.
right? It's like help, like we can like help people. Thanks for getting me
Yeah, all
outside of
pumped
my
up.
little tiny box.
Right?
Like I was only going to America.
Fuck.
Fuck it. I'm not going to be
Fuck it.
satisfied until everybody in the
World domination.
yeah,
Yeah.
except for China.
Fuck. They need it too, bro.
China,
China needs it.
not the CCP.
Everyone's
though.
suffering.
Not the CCP.
Yeah.
Everyone's suffering.
Yeah, and not just like the citizens who are like
Yeah.
really under the. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. They need help.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
That's one greatest thing about America, right? We can sit on the. You can't do this shit in China.
Right.
You can't get on a podcast and say anything negative. You
Well,
can't
for
say
the first
anything
couple days you can.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be like
Dead.
killed.
Wow.
You could say it for a couple days, and then you'll be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in America, we can like you know, that when you go to Washington D.C. and you go to Congress and that's your house.
Yeah.
That's actually our house. It's not theirs. You know, anytime you can call up your local representative from your area,
Go see them.
you can go see them,
Yeah.
and they will take you on a tour of the.
Their legislative area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I've done it.
nice.
I didn't call our representative. I went with a different representative, but it was nice. I got to sit in the chambers of the House,
Oh,
and
wow, that's cool.
yeah, I sat in the Speaker of the House chair. There was no gavel though. I wanted to hit the gavel.
Right.
See, I like politics, but I hate what's going on in this world right now.
Mm,
I hate the great divide that's happened.
yeah.
You know, and you really can't blame it on anyone. You know, like one side wants to blame it on Donald Trump, the other side wants to blame it on Joe Biden. You know what? If you want to blame it on anybody, blame it on yourself. Like I need to blame it on myself if I am divided, right? So that's like with this podcast. I really I'm gonna keep preaching this often, that I want to bring us all back together as Americans.
Yeah.
You know, there's April. April just walked by.
Like, bro,
So
keep spreading the
Unity.
message.
Unity.
Yeah,
Unity, bro.
Unity's
yeah.
the word.
It's the word.
Do you? Somebody told us that you sing. Is that true?
I do not.
Oh,
I do not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Nothing?
have
All right.
you ever tried?
Do you want to try?
No.
Where's God in your life?
What?
Where's God in your life today?
Where's God?
Is there a God in your life today?
Yeah,
You pray a lot or?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I have to have that like spiritual foundation, you know, to kind of like keep my balance. Yeah.
That's a common theme here is a good family and God.
What are you gonna do if somebody's like, you're like, you say, "Where's God in your life?"
And they tell me it's no place. I'm going to tell them, how's that for? How's that treating?
How's that working out?
How's
for
that
you?
working out for you? They're going to have a complaint about it, guaranteed.
Mm.
You need God in your life.
God
Everybody.
God is good.
Yeah, you need God.
God is good. Whatever relationship people have with God, like I think God, regardless of, even when you're like, it's a religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your own journey with
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like everybody builds their own
That's
relationship.
what's so nice about it.
That is what's nice about
Yes.
it. Because some of the things that I have to say to God sometimes, like only God would be okay with me
Yeah.
saying it like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm really big. That's been the biggest change in my life is God,
Yeah.
and like sticking with him through the good times. I have to tell you, that's been my downfall in the past.
Mm.
Like, it's really easy for me to grab a hold of God when I'm hurting,
Right.
but it's hard to remember to pray and thank God and ask him to do the necessary things in your life when everything is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People forget that.
they do. They do.
And I don't want bad shit in my life. I just want God in my life. And when God's in my life, even the bad shit works out. You know?
Yep.
Like, this podcast wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Justin's death, right? So out of Justin's death, something really good and amazing is happening.
Yeah.
Out of your uncle's death, something good and amazing is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's a good way to look at it, you know. It's their stories, and just like them, they were such good people, you know. Like my uncle, like although he struggled with his addictions, like he was always so loving and caring, and would always check in on me, and just saw like the best in everyone, you know.
Yeah.
When he passed, it just like, even his old friends from like back in the day were showing up that I'd never even met before, and just had such great stories to share about him and how good of a person he was. And it's just like, and I'm sure it was the same for your daughter's boyfriend, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It truly is. And you know, I'm a firm believer in when tragedy strikes, you have two choices. You can lay down and die, or you can get up and use that pain as fuel to motivate yourself to do something great.
Yeah.
And a lot of people choose to lay down and die, and that's a very, very sad thing, you know. So my hope as a hopeaholic is that people hear that part and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm in pain today.
Get up and get out.
Get up and get up and get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just ask God for that little bit of energy to get up and get out of the house
Yeah.
and go do something that's like on your heart, that, you know,
Yeah.
like this.
I fucking know, bro.
Shane and I don't Shane, I feel like Shane's a little bit more outgoing than I am. I know
Yeah.
he gets social anxiety and stuff, but he really genuinely likes to talk to people, right? You really genuinely like to talk to people.
I do.
Yeah.
Like you have by nature.
Unless they're spitters.
I did spit the other day. I noticed it went and it landed like right here.
Like a little bubble.
Like in a bubble.
I was
bubble.
like, oh shit, how embarrassing, right?
I didn't notice.
Hope the guest didn't notice. It's coming right at him. I was like, no.
That's hilarious.
Do you guys know how to gleek?
Gleek?
I don't.
The hell is a gleek?
I had a cousin that knew how to
I can gleek. You want to see it? No.
I'm like,
I can watch it.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
know
I
how to do
got that little thing in there.
Oh, okay.
It's that little bubble. It's that little circle in there.
No, it
you
goes
like push and it like shoots out.
And it shoots out.
Yeah, it comes from
Okay.
underneath your
All right.
tongue. Yeah.
Then you know what
Yes,
gleeking
I've
is. I'm not gonna
Yes, I've
gleek.
gleeked. I used to always gleek at home.
Gleek on your family.
Gleek on
It's like, Mom, hey, Mom. My mom was the one that taught me how to
I
do
watched it in the mirror. There's a little sack in your. It seems like there's a little sack in there. No,
ain't no
little sack of water in there.
I just, you know what, I'm not going there, but I'm uncomfortable with this conversation.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make a note. He's uncomfortable. He's had a feeling. He's had a feeling. He's uncomfortable but not scared. So we're okay. We can keep going. Oh wow! Yeah,
What kind of
good
music
times.
do you listen to?
I listen to.
Don't lie either.
I know,
'Cause
I'm
we're gonna go. We've
Yeah, we're gonna
actually
go to
had
your
somebody
car
go
right
down to
now.
your car already and check
Yeah, I
check
listen
your
to,
CDs.
like hip hop and like, yeah.
Like when you say hip hop, do you mean like gangster rap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like selling drugs, rolling down, Compton Boulevard, like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's me too. Shane listens to pop.
That's because I got 3 kids.
Oh wow.
All under
I have
14.
3 kids
Oh
too.
yeah.
You know, so in the car, in the
You
stations.
know what, my son, at your daughter's age.
Yeah,
How old's your middle daughter?
through 12.
Oh, 10 years old. My son went and saw Eminem with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In LA.
You saw Eminem?
Yeah.
How was it?
Great.
I never saw him.
Yeah. It was like seeing Elvis. Elvis Presley of my
Yeah,
generation.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
cool.
And Rihanna was there.
Wow.
Nice.
I took Aurora, Cooper. My kids are hip hop. They've done like hip hop music. It was probably inappropriate. I was, listening to gangster rap with them in the car seat. I thought it was pretty gangster back then.
Well, that's what happens when when you have a kid young,
Yeah.
I feel like my daughter, she grew with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, yeah, for
maybe I
sure.
exposed her to things like maybe I shouldn't have, but it's like we're learning as we go.
Right.
And then if I do listen to something with bad words, I just tell her I try to tell her, or I'll put the clean version, and
The clean version's never as good though.
I know it's not the same, right?
It's not.
It's nice. You guys are going to have a nice relationship. My mom had me when she was 18. We went garden raiding together. You know what garden raiding is?
No.
You go to the neighbor's garden and steal all their fruits and vegetables.
Really?
So we find
Yeah.
some good garden
Must be something
areas.
they only do in Canada.
Yeah, knock on
You can
ginger.
say it. Say it
Say
next
it.
Must be
time.
a Canadian thing. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
it might be a Canadian.
Hey.
No, but my
Not
grandma
much-
used to do the same thing. Whenever she sees a lemon tree or an
Yeah, you go
avocado
steal
tree,
some-
she steals them.
Of course, you come back, wait for the nighttime, go steal some lemons. Sort of how I was brought up.
She'll come home with a bag of
Yeah, where'd you
pomegranates.
get
I'm
the
like,
le-
okay,
Yeah, store. I'm from the store.
What you do is you just take an Albertsons bag with you.
she keeps it on her.
Shit, my grandmother used to take me to her enemies and we used to cut their tires.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. We had a crazy grandmother. Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah, she was cool. Yeah, she was tough.
Do you
Oh,
think?
my grandma is.
Do you think the whole entire staff is going to listen to this podcast?
They might. I think they might.
Are you going to promote it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Of course.
Yeah, I tried promoting it. The staff doesn't like me as much as they like the other staff. Because let me tell you, and if the staff listens to this, great. And my feelings are never hurt. I never ever get my feelings hurt. I just notice. So I put something out. Hardly anybody responds. I say, Brooke, put this out. Watch, everybody's gonna respond. So Brooke puts it out.
Shit.
What's that mean?
That was for Hardy, for her boy.
Yeah, they don't like staff doesn't like me as much as they like
No,
Brooke.
no, I don't think that's
Oh no,
the
my
case.
feelings aren't
I don't
hurt.
think that's the case, though. I think it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah, scared
know?
scared to respond to my email.
Scared to respond.
No, you don't have to be. Y'all don't have to be scared to respond to my email. Feel free to say whatever you want. I am a nice guy. Did that make it even weirder?
Did make it weird. No, it's fine. I should have said it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please say hi to Chad in the hallway. He needs friends.
Yeah, but a lot of people look up to you, Chad. Even when I used to work here, the clients and even the staff
Yeah.
that are in recovery,
He's loved.
they do look up to you. Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I mean, that's okay. So I feel weird when when you say stuff like that to me too. I don't even
You're
know.
like me.
See how socially awkward I
Yeah,
can be?
we saw.
Like, whoa.
First hand,
What
bro.
was that?
First hand. Did you get that, Michelangelo?
I
Good.
hope the camera was not
That's a
on me.
reel right there. That's a reel.
A blooper reel.
Yeah.
It's just my point is that I'm not better than anybody, you know. I have an insane drive, and I hope that
I know.
it's
I was
broken again. So I'm gonna put it down or I stab somebody.
Where
I
were
did-
we?
Yeah, I know where I was.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I just hope that people, can listen to, when they do listen to me, know that it's everything is an inner drive thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just have this inner drive to continue to strive to do better,
Yeah.
and I've learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because you cannot grow being comfortable.
Yeah.
So you have to be uncomfortable. You have to put the fear thing that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the fear part,
Yeah.
Shane? What's important about fear?
It drives you. That's where you grow.
Yeah, it's important to face those fears and conquer them. And when I say that, doing things that that are outside of your comfort zone.
Right. Right.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it probably is a tiny bit outside of your comfort zone to come in here and sit down with two guys that you didn't.
Oh, hang
know.
on a second. Her friend bailed on her midway through, so she was
Yeah.
very
Oh,
nervous.
should we call her out?
She was very
Should.
nervous.
Where you at, Cassandra?
Cass, what happened? Yeah. I mean, when you told me, or when you sent out the email about the podcast, I was like, like that would be kind of interesting, you know, like to sit down with Chad and like just chop it up, but and to be like your real self, you know. So I kind of thought about it, and I've been kind of meditating on it, and like what I want to, if I did it, like what would I want to share, you know. And so I kind of feel like this happened for a reason, you know, because with Cassandra, we kind of had in mind we were just going to talk about the event and kind of keep it like short and sweet. But then things changed, and then like my uncle's story came out, and like all this happened. So it's just like, okay, cool.
God took over.
Yeah,
That's
there you
how
go.
God takes over this podcast
Yeah.
every time. There's zero plan. We don't have a question.
Yeah.
We prefer not to get to know our guests before we even sit down with them.
Yeah.
That way we don't have any information.
Right.
And there's been times that I've sat here and I've just been like, oh my God, like on so many levels. Like people have come in here and shared some stuff, like very deep traumatic events, and I've just been like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know, those events are inspiring to me.
Yeah.
It inspires me because it takes so much strength to say that stuff in this setting, knowing, and I don't know if everybody realizes this, but you sit on this podcast and whatever you say is going to be sitting on the internet forever.
Yeah.
And this podcast isn't shrinking, it's growing.
Yeah.
So people are going to go back and watch these episodes. These episodes will grow, right? You know, so it takes courage.
Yeah.
And these are like clients that maybe have just finished, or, you know, only have, you know, 6 months clean, or,
Right.
you know, a year or 18 months. We just had a girl on that had 18 months clean. I'm really a big believer in manifestation, and I mean that in every sense of manifestation. Like
Yeah.
I believe it in, like, if I want something, like if I want this podcast platform to be, you know, huge, I sit and I manifest about it often. But in this particular situation, I let each podcast manifest itself
Yeah.
to go however it's going to go.
That's actually interesting that you brought that up, because I've been looking into like manifestation lately and kind of like what it really means. And what I've been getting out of it is that, like, if you do have your higher power or God, as long as you're staying humble throughout that process, because it's really God's will, right? Not our own.
Right.
At least that's what I believe.
That's what
And so are we manifesting things that are our own selfish desires, or are we manifesting things that are going to benefit us and the people around us, because that's what God would want, right? So just like really being able to determine, like, okay, am I manifesting something that I want, like in a selfish way, whether that's something small or big, or is it like something that God wants? And so like when you mentioned, like, yeah, like God just works kind of like in mysterious ways, right? It brings people together. And so that's how I've been kind of like learning and growing through that manifestation process. Because I feel like some people, when they manifest, sometimes they can manifest like negative things. In their lives.
You can manifest whatever you
know
want.
what I mean?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
It
that's
could be
the
like
deal.
dangerous in some ways.
When you truly learn how to manifest, you can manifest whatever you want. And I like what you say, because I should probably start prefacing that now. When I manifest, I only manifest God's will in my life. It's just that sometimes I get like visions of what God's will is for my life, so that he kind of gives me, but sometimes I'm wrong on that manifestation or on that vision. But when that happens, I'm also very good at seeing the roadblocks that he puts in my way. Like, you can't go down that street. That's not the street I want you to go down. You're following my path, not yours.
Right.
But people, and you'll see this a lot on social media. There's a lot of motivational coaches, right? And they truly know how to manifest. And they are a lot of these people are, we followed one for a little while, but I don't like to, I'm not going to say his name or anything, but I stopped following it because I don't want to be involved in the manifestation of wealth without societal benefit. So like a lot of these people, they're manifesting, helping people, helping people become wealthy or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's all it's about. It's about cars. It's about the house.
Right.
It's about, I've got all this money. And that's not helping society in any way, shape, or form. Right. It's okay to be wealthy.
Right.
That's okay.
Of course.
But what are you doing to and for society with that wealth?
Yes.
How are you benefiting society and how? Because I don't have any kind of mission. You'll never see me posting about. I post the cool art in my house because I'm really into like graffiti art and stuff like that. Graffiti art. Yeah, I love it too. My wife loves it. My house wouldn't be as beautiful as it is if she wouldn't have decorated it. That's awesome. I used to have like a manly house before I got married. So, Restoration Hardware. Yes. Yeah. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But now it's cool. Like I go home and I'm just like, I get like an hour at home every day before I fall asleep because that's kind of how my life is. Yeah. But people need to know that you can work hard and manifest and create and help other people have lives beyond their wildest dream.
Grow,
and and a sense of peace inside. Yeah. Like chasing money and cars and for lack of better words, actually no, I have a way better word. Women or men, chasing that kind of stuff. There's just really there's no true inner peace and satisfaction with that. Right. And that's what these guys show, guys and girls.
They're distorting like the purpose and like the meaning of true manifestation. That's what's happening, and it's confusing, especially the younger generation. Yeah. I see a lot of like the TAPE population, like ages 19 to 24, and they're like on this manifestation kick, and it's just like, but you're manifesting this guy that's like not even good for you, or like that you're putting yourself in toxic environments, right? Like you said, like making money, that's great. Like everyone should be able to do that and experience that wealth, things like that. But it's like, are you sitting back and like, are you happy with yourself? Do you feel at peace with yourself? Are you connected with your higher power still? Like, where are you with that? I always like to ask my patients that when they so just, I just feel like it's been kind of distorted. Yeah. Because it started becoming like a trend.
It's a huge trend. Yeah. Like I had to like click off of a lot of this stuff because I was like, this is not the trend that I'm okay with. Right. But I'll tell you what, where it gets blurred is some of the top motivational speakers in this world. They don't give them one key ingredient to the people. And I don't know why. Eric, the hip hop preacher, does. But because obviously his name is the hip hop preacher, right? So he talks about God. Yeah. And how, and he, a lot. But a lot of them, they leave it out of their books. And I don't know if it's to sell more books because people are so scared of God. But if but I believe these people who wrote the books, they actually do believe in God. The top guys, right? But they're not putting it in there. And I don't know why, but the key ingredient is God. Yeah. That is the key ingredient to true success. Yeah. Like everything these motivational speakers are saying is 110% accurate. You do all those things, but if you add the one element that they're leaving out, the world is an amazing, beautiful place.
It is.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Because they took God out of school also, along with athletics, sports, taking out all the good stuff. They're trying to divide, make us weak, and followers. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you 100%, bro.
When it's godless, there is weakness.
There's weakness. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And you become a follower
Yes.
instead of a leader.
100%. 100%.
If you're really truly a lion, you know,
Yeah.
if you're really truly a lion, you know how people like the spiritual
Or
animal
lioness.
lion is like the one that everybody like gets a lion tattooed on me. That means I'm strong. I'm the king of the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get these tattoos.
Yeah.
But you're not a lion if you don't have God.
No.
Not
You
even
God.
close to a lion.
You
God
God.
created lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my rant. What did I even say? I have no idea. Lion?
We got deep for a minute
You're
there.
gonna get a tattoo. You're gonna get a tattoo on your arm. Lion
Actually-
tattoo.
No, I'm getting them right here on my stomach.
Lion?
Yeah. big
Really?
one. Yeah, huge.
I have a panther on my thigh.
That's I'm not gonna say what that is, but it's a little
A little too much information.
just kidding.
You know me.
Yeah. I don't care if you are, dude. I love you anyway.
I know you do.
All right. I don't know if I should say this right now, but on our last podcast, today we did you're our third podcast today,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're crushing it. We kind of slow start, and I just spit right there.
Bubbled.
Gleeking over there.
We kind of got off to a slow start. We hadn't podcast since
Thursday.
Thursday of last
Yeah,
week.
I think it was Thursday because no, this has been this week. We've been off.
Monday we did one podcast, didn't we? No. None? Somebody canceled on us at 3:00. Yeah, I know who it was.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. They didn't show. It was a no show. No
Yeah.
call, no show.
Oh.
Anyways, the guy we had some guys on, and the one guy hit on Shane
Yeah.
during the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 He wanted to know if he wanted to go out for some drinks later.
Yeah.
Shane didn't deny him. He was
Yeah.
like, maybe. He gave him a maybe.
Yeah.
I'm married with 3 children. But I have to ask my wife when I get home if I can go for dinner, but besides that, I'm okay.
She'll probably say yes.
She's going to see us for sure.
Please
go.
Please go.
As long as it's not
Is
another
there-
woman, she's not
Can
going
you
to
feed
care.
the children
Yes,
first?
it's true.
Please go.
What's his name? Yeah, of course. Go have fun. Yeah. Great life. God.
That was just like a moment of awkward silence. Like nobody knew what to say right there. Like I didn't know what to say. I had stuff going through my brain, but I was like, I can't say any of this.
I can't say anything of it either. That's why my cheeks are sore though, so I'm in a good mood.
Oh man. Well, what do you think?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
I did. This was really great. Yeah.
Better than you thought? Or did you have an expectation?
I kind of went in just with like no expectation, just kind of like.
Were you gonna cancel when Cassandra canceled?
I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. No.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
like people canceling.
Well, especially when the pressure comes in. When she canceled with 10, 15 minutes before you came,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're feeling nervous and
Yeah.
full of anxieties coming in. And oh my God, I was so used to this. Now I gotta.
Was there
Yeah.
a reason why she canceled? No, I don't. I know you guys are related, so I'm not gonna. I don't want to start a war.
No, she had a meeting, and so
Oh.
she would have had to leave anyways
Okay.
for like for her
right,
exit,
right.
like
Yeah, yeah,
paperwork or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Seems suspicious. I could have probably overrode that.
I know, right? Suspicious.
Oh, she works for Hope.
Today's her last day.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
she quit on me.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
she quit on me to go follow her dreams. So I can't
Good for her.
I can't be mad at her.
Where's she going?
She's going to county. She got hired as a senior social worker. I'm not putting her
Wow.
business out. Yeah, it's
Yeah, good.
We
good for her.
didn't say her last name though.
that's
Yeah,
all right.
The only people that know are everybody already knows here. so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this won't come out for a couple of days, anyways.
months
Months.
at this point. What was I gonna say though? Oh no, we got to put this one out way before the. We're gonna have to move her up in line because we got that event.
Oh,
Part
yeah.
of this has
Right,
to do
the
with the
24th,
event.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do a reel for the event?
Yeah, we're gonna do. What do you mean?
Like
She did some. She
did
dropped some shit.
Yeah,
right there
okay,
a little bit ago. I think it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
I was gonna say something about Cassandra, and now I'm drawing a blank. It really sucks. Oh yeah, I remember. She's not gonna like her job. I told her she's welcome back since she left me.
Yeah.
Appropriately.
Yeah, when she told me county, I was like, okay. Something to add to your resume, you know. I think it's a good opportunity. I think she'll learn a lot there. I don't know, like the longevity though. A lot of people don't.
People stay at the
Some
people
do in
that stay at the county.
It's like forever.
It's forever.
Yeah, like 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And then there are those that just kind of like.
Yeah, but then she retires at 50, right?
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
Strive for excellence.
Yeah, I agree. I would never do county.
I think it's okay. She's following her dreams. This is something, and I'm not mad at her. Like I said,
She can come back.
I just like messing with every single person that leaves.
The door is still open.
I say the door's open, and you're not gonna like your job. And when you get there, the grass is never greener. That's what I always tell them.
Never.
I told her this to her face.
Mm-hmm.
I said the grass is greener on the side you water it. So if you water Hope by the Sea,
Yeah.
it's going to be the most, or the Infinity Group, but she's mainly Hope by the Sea, right?
Yeah.
So you water that side, the grass is going to grow and it's going to be really green.
She'll be back.
Yeah, that's what I always tell like the staff too. You know, like if you're feeling signs of burnout, you got to talk to your supervisors about it. Like I've come to Chad for things, I've come to my bosses for things, and I keep it very transparent. And I think that's what's helped me get through like those hard times where I was feeling like a little overwhelmed or, you know, things like that. But that comes with working in, you know,
it's not going to be any different anywhere else.
Right.
I mean, it really isn't. Like, you know, when you're in the job of helping people, there's always going to be times that are tough, you know, and
yeah, but let's face it. When you're at county, you're dealing with spitters.
I think her job isn't that though. She got a good. I think it's adolescents and something that she's passionate about. Yeah. I'm not mad at her. I'm not gonna bag on the county. I mean, I wouldn't work there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. My whole point was to saying all of this is she's welcome back.
She's welcome back.
Yeah.
She'll always be a part of it.
Yeah.
Part of us, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And as long as I'm here, I'm sure she'll.
Just like Eric, he's always welcome back.
Yeah,
I wonder if Eric listens to. He'll listen to this podcast if you shoot it out to him.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Eric, we got positions open. Probably got one close to home. We might have one in Costa Mesa. Who knows?
Hey.
Do we?
You might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. That was
for having me.
Super nice podcast
Yeah,
and a lot of fun and a lot of laughing.
Definitely. That was great.
I wonder if anybody ever watches these and like what because you're here, right? And we're cracking up because it's funny.
It is.
I don't know if when you're listening to it outside of here, if people are like laughing. My sister will probably want to text me right now, like when she listens to this particular podcast.
Yeah, I'm laughing, Chad.
No, she'll be like, yeah, you guys are funny. Like one time she texted me like, because this podcast won't come out for a while, right? I mean, I will put it, I'm going to move it down the list, but sometimes my sister forgets these aren't live. And she's like texting me, it was Matthew McConaughey. And I'm like looking at my phone and I'm like, is she like going crazy right now? Like why? I'm sitting at home and I had no idea. I was watching like the Laker game and she texted me this and I looked down and I'm like, maybe that was for somebody else.
No, it was that question we had.
So I text her back. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the quote that you were looking for on the podcast. It was Matthew McConaughey, not Tom Brady. I was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of funny. My sister and G are probably like my biggest supporters. They watch the podcast like right when they come out. Like they'll be before I even send them out. They usually know because Michelangelo drops them, and then it takes a little while for it to upload to YouTube. So then I have to go back and look and see if it's uploaded yet. Sometimes I'm at home already and it's been out for like 3 hours. Yeah, and then I send it out to all the staff. I've missed a few, but that was only primarily because I felt like some of the podcasts weren't not that they were inappropriate, just that they weren't, probably wouldn't have interest. Like I put Bob Menery's out, and I'm like I put a fair warning on there, like, hey, watch this if you're at your own risk, and don't watch it if you're easily offended, because you know, he might say things that are inappropriate.
Yeah, that's good that you did that though, just to like, you know, for whoever's watching.
Yeah, a couple people were like, that just made me want to watch it more.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was like, I should start doing that on all of them, man. Watch at your own risk. This one may or may not be appropriate for people under the age of 18 and over the age of 35. All right. Well, that's it, Jocelyn.
You.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.